So end of week 5, heading into the final stretch, which does sort of push boundaries a little bit with food. And this is the sort of levels where we need to make sure we're a bit more aware of sort of what we're eating and food choices, etc., etc. So how we'll start with the little thing in the comments. How has everyone found the first 5 weeks? Have they found food choices okay in terms of like tiredness, hunger? Well, not including like tiredness and hunger, is like actually making meals fit their calories. Is it been, give me a little thumbs up if it's okay, or like yes, okay, or found like and no if they found it really hard to sort of make meals to and stay within their calories. Let me get the chart. So yeah, good. So yeah, I know obviously, like I saying, it does get that little bit tougher into the final 3 weeks. So I'll break down this call into a couple steps. We're mainly going to be talking about routine, accountability, and making the most of your calories and what we can sort of expect to start seeing from the next few weeks, in terms of like sort of side effects of dieting and sort of the downside of dieting and things that you probably will notice over the next couple of weeks. And then we'll start touching on how to like implement this into like post eliminate and what's coming after eliminate, because like I said throughout, like we've all lost weight before, but the main thing about weight loss and fat loss is making sure we keep it off and we keep things to a minimum. And sort of what level should we be if we're going to like either continue dieting, because not everyone within eliminate is going to be exactly where they want to be. Some people are going to want to continue with their weight coming down, and then obviously some people are going to be quite happy with where they are body composition wise, but probably going to want to increase food. And a lot more personal advice will be advised within your check-ins or obviously on success call. But I will obviously give some guidelines as to what we should expect, and then obviously you can put yourself in which bracket you are, either continuing or wanting to sort of happy with where you're at but bring food up. Before we start, actually let's get into it since she's on the call. Alex was the only one who got in a selfie from her run, so another challenge win for Alex, which goes towards the overall prize. Well done, Alex. The next 2 challenges are going to be, we're going to go for a breakfast. So I'll put all the rules and regulations in for like a nice breakfast. So like it'll be similar to like we've done the fake away, the desserts. I'm just sort of bringing down, as you see, as we come through. Obviously the fake away tends to be a bit high calorie, dessert tends to be a little bit more non-nutrient dense. And then the next food challenge is obviously all around making a nice breakfast within sort of calories. We'll share different ideas, because dieting can be quite easy, can be quite fun, but you sort of, most people don't mind taking off Monday to Friday, and then it comes to Saturday, Sunday, and they want something a little bit different. So we'll make sure we've got that, a little challenge for that. And then we've got a 100k step week, and I'm just looking at the weather for Jersey. This week's nice, and then it goes a little bit crap. So I think we'd be better off doing that next week. So this week's challenge will be about breakfast, and I'll post all the rules and that for that in the within the group. So first things first, we will talk about making the most out of our calories, because they have dropped. Does anyone have any questions on that first, on like, or is anyone struggling to sort of like still hit with like either like the protein or like little suggestions on how to make the most out of the calories, or what's the best way to sort of meal prep, or what to do if they're eating out, if they buy lunch, etc., etc.? Any questions on that? If you pipe up, you're going to get a direct response. No question. So you guys are all going to smash, obviously, the next 3 weeks targets hit. So within the welcome pack, if I'm just getting up on my screen here. So within the welcome pack, there is a page, obviously, on making the most out of your calories. So just loading up now, and then we'll talk through it. Let me go. Let me see if this works. I'm going to share my screen. Let me know if... Can you all see my screen? Someone just give me a little nod. Yeah, Alex, give me a nod. So the best, like I said, when we come into sort of diets, the number one thing we want to do is make it easy and keep ourselves full, because that's what's going to help us stick to it the most. And this is where we start making all them smart sort of options that we've probably implemented all along, and you've probably made smarter choices. And I'm starting to see people say, oh, I was out for dinner and my weight didn't go up as much as I expected, and I didn't manage to track this day, but it's okay because I took this. So you've probably subconsciously started to make some really, really smart decisions and some smart choices. So that is a good thing. But if we talk about diet and getting the absolute max out of food choices, it's always good to stay reminded as to what's to come. Hence why I post things like about the steps and the water and things like that. So getting the most out of your calories, changing oils to olive oil to light calorie sprays, just being aware of things like liquid calories like coffees, orange juices, etc., and switching to things like skinny milk, or swapping like a full fat latte for something like a cortado or like homemade coffee, so you're aware of the actual amount of milk you're having. I've actually doing, for most people and for you guys, you're probably not going to need to make that switch, because it's not going the if you're happy with what you've got, then, and you're making it work, then it's okay. But for my photo shoot for the next 2 weeks, I've dropped a latte from Cooper's and I'm just using skinny milk or homemade coffees. Just, it's my one little pleasure, and usually I wouldn't take it away, but because I'm going, and when I done my photo shoot the first time around, I didn't take it out. But because I'm going to Thailand and I'll be drinking and eating out there, I am making that change, and it just allows me to track the milk a little bit more accurately. Taking yolks out your eggs, again, rather than having like a 3 egg white omelette, you can have 1 whole egg, 2 egg white. You're just saving that little bit more calories by taking 2 of the yolks out. Ensuring you fill up everything with fruit and veg. The more fruit and veg you have in your diet, the more full you're going to be. So smashing, I mean, like throughout the year when I make my sort of salads, I don't put in like a lot of lettuce, cucumber, carrots, like the sort of baseline salads that you'd probably expect. I use a lot more veg like peppers and things like that. But coming towards the end of a diet, I'll start putting in like a garden salad. So I'll get a little side salad from the co-op or whatever it may be, and just add that into my salad, just to make sure for when I drop things like my rice, just replace salad with rice. Use butternut squash or root veg mash as an alternative potato. Although remember, all these things like potatoes and rice, etc., and all your carbs you can still have. This is just examples of how to make the most of it. Eat lean cheese, basically any low fat alternative. So rather than like full fat milk or full fat yogurt and things like that, your protein puddings, going for 0% fat will make that little bit of a difference. And using like 0% fat yogurt with whey protein gives you the same chocolate flavor, but you're just sort of breaking it down. The same with like things like smoothie bowls over oats, and you're going to get the same sort of volume and feel full, and you can always put your whey protein in there. And then I had this today, I was craving something, so I got some low calorie jellies. I think they're 5 calories for a pot. Just had 2 of them just to tide me over in between meals. And then obviously we talk about restaurants and things like that, and you've still got to remember things like your Coke Zeros. If you fancy like a little bit of Robinson's, if you struggle to get your water in, don't be scared of all this stuff. You can still have it and still use it. It's just thinking, right, how do I get the absolute most out of what I'm eating? And then that obviously comes with smarter choices, and 50, 60 calories here and there over the day could be up to 100, 200 calories. And especially if you've got things like coffees, you can be saving 100 calories on that alone. So being aware of that is very, very important. Any questions on that, or does anyone want to share something that works well for them, something that they use that they've always like my sort of low calorie alternatives are skinny milk, 0% fat Greek yogurt, and Coke Zeros. So has anyone got anything that they have that might be shared to the group? Anything that's their go-to? Like even if you get them garden salads and things like that. None of you use any alternatives? Eat lean cheese? No. Pop
Yeah,
chip,
I think I
yeah.
use the lean cheese, and then like you said with the omelets as well. So just stick to egg whites and maybe just have one full egg. Definitely works for me. So yeah.
Yeah, perfect. And that's basically all it is. It's just thinking like, how can we just save these 50 calories here and there? And most of you have probably seen me write this in like your check-ins before, is like, think, especially coming, yeah, there you go, replacing sugar with sweetener. I didn't even think of that one. Well done, Emma. Like one of the biggest thing, you've got all the low calorie syrups, etc. as well. And like I've had people use like, and I've tried them all before, like Skinny Co jam, Skinny Co ketchup, and that. The jam's fine. I don't like the ketchup. If you don't like things like the ketchup and the brown sauce, don't have it. But picking like the no added sugar stuff on, like, so I have like bolognese and I'll put in no added sugar rather than the full fat bolognese sauce. All of them make a big difference. Even Dolmio do like low fat, etc. now. So the main thing that you want to do is prioritize your protein, veg, etc. But what I mean by that is, I don't mean like just pick a chicken breast, then add a bit of veg, and then obviously think, oh, I've got rice, and then the next minute you've got like plain chicken, veg and rice. It's like, right, I'm having, like, I always use the same examples just so it drills in and drills in. But like if you're having like fajitas, your main source is obviously your protein. So you're thinking, right, that's there, chicken fajitas is my protein source, then the peppers. And then if I'm at the end of a diet, what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace the rice with salad, and you're just going to have it on a big bed of salad rather than the rice. That's sort of how you go through it. Or if you, so the garlic mayo is terrible, the Skinny Co. If, like you say, you're training and you're thinking, right, I used to spread all my carbs out, or like have porridge for breakfast and then rice for lunch and then potatoes with my dinner, and you train in like say early morning, you might think, right, I'll keep my porridge because I know I'm getting all that energy before I train. Whereas if you train in the evening, you might swap your breakfast from oats to either eggs or Greek yogurt and put more carbs in and around your lunch. So where you're usually having a lunch and you're having salad, you might be, right, I'm going to put in some couscous, some rice, or some potatoes in that. So I've got a little bit of an energy boost going into my training later in the afternoon, early evening. So that's the main thing to sort of focus on, is prioritize your protein, make sure you're getting your veg and fruit in, and then your carbs you want to put in before you're training. If you're smart, obviously you can get 2 meals with carbs in, but trying to split it across 3 is when it starts getting that little bit harder and a little bit harder. So, and remember, this is only for another 3 weeks. I will be the first one to say the amount of calories on the next 3 weeks isn't sustainable. It's not meant to be. It's there to get a job done. It's there to help you lose that little bit of weight. And hence why when I created ELIMIN8, I made sure there was weeks 9 and 10 reversing you back out of a diet, because we'll talk on it. And I actually done, just by chance, obviously I've got my notes and my study from previously, but I was doing a course yesterday for physique athletes, like bodybuilding. Oh, and that, can you hear the washing machine? I've put the noise thing on it. Alex, I'm looking at you. Can you hear the washing machine? Yeah. Let me just see. Right, I should have paused it. Hopefully that doesn't make too much of a loud noise. But yeah, what I was saying there is, like, I was doing a course yesterday, funnily enough, just for like physique athletes and bodybuilders, and they obviously receive things as an extreme. But the main thing that I'm sort of looking at for the next 3 weeks, and I want Eliminate to be different with, is ensuring that you're aware of some of the things that can come, like such as like psychological barriers. I'll break it all down one by one. Like psychological barriers, like what I mean by that is like start thinking, oh, it's too tough, I can't do this. A lot of your thought process is in and around food. You probably see me post it the other day. I posted all the things that I'm going to eat after my photo shoot, and that's not actually a good thing to do because that can obviously lead to things like binge eating. But for me, it was just a little bit of satisfaction. I'm aware of it. I'll probably delete it, or I'll know myself that I can only have one of them things each week rather than trying to smash it all in the 1 week. So and obviously I've got my body fats under the healthy sort of range. So like for males, it's like 12% body fat is your sort of healthy range, and you should be coming back up to that. For females, it's about 22% body fat. So it's okay to sometimes eat that little bit more to bring your body fat up to that healthier range. But the psychological barriers you'll be receiving will be like, can I do it? Can't I do it? This is hard. This is tough. I'm tired. I'm hungry. So they're all normal to think like that. It's normal to think about food. It's normal to actually like sometimes crash a little bit, like have that chocolate bar or eat a little bit more than expected. Michelle was quite open with saying that she had extra pop chips when she wasn't expected to. All these things are normal, and they're actually more common the leaner you get. But I would much rather you message me, and this is what we spoke about last week, is like message me if you feel like you're about to crash or you're going down that route, or ensuring you've only got a limited amount of stuff within your house, within your chocolate cupboard or your cookie jar, so that only so much can be polished off. But expect psychological barriers to come, and don't think you're different or that you can never lose weight or you can never diet, because everyone gets them. Like even mine are horrendous at the minute. Like mine, I'm like to the point of like I could smash anything in sight basically when it comes to food, but because I'm aware of it and I've dieted before, I'm a lot better in control. And then things that probably aren't spoke about as much, which are very, very relevant and should be spoke about more, is mood. I think we're all the first to admit when we're hungry, we're not the nicest people to be about, and like being hangry is so like commonly chucked about. But when you realize your mood's a little bit low and you are a little bit anxious and you are feeling a little bit sort of down, that side of things isn't as commonly talked about. And it's about being aware of that and making sure like, okay, like, is this normal? Am I having a bad day? Is it my food? Do I need food to increase, or do I just need a good sleep? And Lydia, I'll come to that in a minute. So yeah, it's being aware of that and thinking like what's causing your mood. And I know it sounds so simple and I say it every single week, but sleep, water, and prioritizing your nutrition are the most important things for making your mood increase. And then there's also like your libido. That's not talked about enough. I know it's Valentine's Day tomorrow, so this is a good topic to come on to, but like when you sort of dieted for extended periods of time on a 6 to 8 week cut, like Eliminate, you shouldn't receive it as much. But if you've come off the back of a diet and an extended diet, expect like sex drive and libido to be down. That is completely normal. And this is why I say Eliminate is a kickstart, and I do offer the success call throughout Eliminate, because we'll be talking, I'm going to put it into next week, we're talking about post Eliminate, and it is all about what's next and being aware of these things and how to come up. Because like I said, Pete, it's easy to, and it's quite simple to lose weight. The hardest part is keeping it off, and it's being aware of like what to do, how much should your food increase, because body fat levels should increase after a diet. But it's all about that. Binge eating and other eating disorders, no one should sort of come onto this level at Eliminate or after Eliminate, but then want to sort of eat more food is common and is very, very normal, whether you've done Eliminate or any other diet, or whether you're going through coaching or trying to cut for a holiday yourself. You will experience these things. So the best way to do it is obviously making sure you've got a plan for post eliminate. And the way I sort of do it is like allow yourself to like celebrate, go out for a big meal, go out, have some ice cream, some cookies, whatever you want to celebrate. Like I'll probably order like some cookies for my post show, or like some donuts, something along them lines. And then the next day I'll be having like 3 square meals. So I'll be having like a breakfast, lunch and dinner on track. And then when I come into it, you start being a bit more flexible with your targets rather than being like 125 grams of carbs. It's like you're within a range, and then you slowly build yourself back into eating habits. So that's why it's being aware of that, and that's why it's take a focus on that. And then obviously I'm here for support. Like I said, I've offered the success call to everyone. A few of you that had it, and then obviously I'll be sending out an email out for like support post eliminate, because the main purpose of eliminate is to kickstart you, get the weight off, and then the success call and the coaching for after it is there to ensure progress keeps moving forward rather than going backwards. But I don't want to go into too much of that now. We'll be talking a bit more about that next week. So is everyone quite happy with the psychological barriers, the mood, the sex, and hormones? I was waiting to say that. So like periods obviously can stop when you are on a diet. If you've been dieting for an extended period of time, then, and your periods are irregular or they're not common, then obviously that's a bit of an issue. You need to make sure, obviously it's normal. It's normal to be going to the toilet. It's normal to be having periods, etc., etc. So if they have stopped, or they have stopped for an extended period of time, again, let me know, and we'll be talking about the kind of foods you should be eating and the amount of food that should be coming up to make sure they are regulated again, and obviously normal periods. And I think a lot of people have probably seen in the past on diets, when they are eating healthy and they are training well, they do seem to have a better cycle. So yeah, really important to talk about it, and that's why I want people to be open in the group and talk about these things, because they're common. It's like I've had no embarrassment in saying that in the past from dieting, that my hormones have been really low, like my testosterone's been really low, which is obviously not a good thing. So I've spoken to like quite a few lads about it in the gym when they send lean and they're low and their energy's sort of zapped. I've been telling them to go get their testosterone checked, because it should be as commonly talked about as periods, but there's a bit of a taboo around it because we're guys, and and our testosterone shouldn't obviously be hit, but it happens without realizing sometimes. So yeah, be aware of all of that. Probably not the most positive of calls today, but it's important to be aware of that. So let's change the subject from post eliminate and sort of structure, accountability and workout. So is everyone okay with that, or has anyone got any questions before I move on? Just give me a little yes if you're okay, no if you've got a question. Yes, everyone's happy. Yeah, good. It's a lot of it is. I wanted to start with that. I know it's not the most positive thing, but it's important, and I care much more about long-term health and all of that over getting a progress photo for a transformation for my Instagram. And although I do post them, it is important that your long-term health is taken priority. So structure, accountability is what we're talking about next. I'll keep this relatively short. We'll go 1 to 7. Have we found eliminate? 1 being absolutely shy, 7 being amazing. And I'll tell you why I use a scale of 1 to 7 instead of 1 to 5 and 1 to 2 or 1 to 10. Go on, don't be scared. 6. Good. So someone's allowed to say it's crap. I don't mind a 3 or a 4. Don't mind a 7. So pretty positive feedback for it's a diet, can't be a 7. That's fair enough. That is fair. What's everyone enjoyed most about eliminate? Is it the nutrition or the workouts, the group? pick one. What's been your favorite part about the ELIMIN8? Or is it the structure? Is it the accountability? Structure to follow? So a question is, yeah, getting back into the gym with a plan. Good. Right. A question for everyone, right, is what's the difference between just going onto Google and typing in female or male 4-day workout? If we think it's if it is just about workouts and something to follow, 12-week female 4-day workout. Do you think that would be enough to keep you moving forward and enjoying it as much? Or is it sort of making sure you've got the check-ins, the accountability, etc., etc.? So yeah, workouts, yeah. So you'll see there like accountability, and it's not, I don't just mean accountability from me as a coach and a check-in. A lot of things come from accountability for each other. All posting in the group, you're seeing someone post that they've made something or they're eating snacks or that they've checked, and you're like, oh shit, I better do that. Or I see someone's going out and getting their steps in even though it's raining, I better do that. So there's a big community group of accountability, which is important. The checking in helps because you've got a certain day and time to get your feedback in. So as long as you do that, you're going to receive further feedback. And then obviously the structure comes with that. It's like, right, you've got your 3 or your 4-day workout, you pick what best suits you, and then you go and do that, and it sets your sets and your reps, etc. So yeah, all of that is good. And that is what's sort of the best thing about ELIMIN8 is what I want you to think about over between now and next week, between your check-in and your and the live call, is what is it you've enjoyed most about ELIMIN8? What has helped you get your results, and what is it you think you'll be doing post ELIMIN8? Because it's so easy to come off results, and that's what I don't want. It's not about that. It's all about what can you do, what can keep you moving forward, and where will you see further progress. Like you've got, I can tell you right now, you can type into Google how many calories should I be on, what workouts can I do, 3-day, 4-day, female or male full body, and just start thinking, right, am I in a position to keep moving forward or am I not? And then think, right, what is my goal? Do I want to continue losing weight? Do I want to lose more weight? Do I want to maintain until summer? And am I aware of how to do that? So that's what we should be thinking about next week. Has everyone enjoyed their workouts? Let's go. Favorite workout? Just give me like full body from 3-day or full body from 4-day, glute session, upper body, shoulders, whatever it may be, depending on what's been your favorite workout. Let me know in the chat. Upper body for Michelle. Arms, so upper body for Alex, lower body for Emma. Glutes and abs for Chloe, full body. Good. Yeah, it's interesting seeing. You can see we all like different workouts from there. Full body home workout for Kendall. So you see like we all like different workouts. So it's finding out what we enjoy, and that's important for you to start thinking about as well. What is it you enjoy for moving forward? What can you sustain for a long period of time? Because we'll be talking about that next week. And if you come into next week's call thinking about, right, this is what I enjoy, this is what I don't enjoy, this is what I want, you'll leave yourselves in a much better position to be ready to talk about some things for post ELIMIN8. So I will probably leave things there because I've covered everything that I need to cover from this side. Let me just check my notes. Yeah, making most of your calories, routine, accountability. We talk about post ELIMIN8 next week. What's everyone's least favorite exercise? I want to see if this comes up. Least favorite exercise. Plank. skull crushers, press ups. I was expecting some Bulgarian. I've obviously not put Bulgarians in the workouts. Are Bulgarians in one of the workouts? Oh, they are good. I was gonna say, love them. Yeah, Emma doesn't like them. When I do my check-ins for like the one-to-one clients and I do the initial form, it's all about like what's your favorite exercise and what's your least favorite. And Bulgarians come up every time. Yeah, changing up Bulgarians to like step ups or something like that's absolutely fine. So yeah, good to know that they're in there and they're becoming more and more popular. I think it's the Kim Kardashian generation. I'm saying like the people want to all grow a big bum, and I think Bulgarians are in there and they're all over Instagram, aren't they? And how to do your Bulgarians and how to make them a little bit more enjoyable. But that is cool. Everything's in there. I'm glad everyone is enjoying the workouts, etc. If there is anything, let me know. But next 3 weeks it will be tough. If it's too tough, let me know. Make the most out of your calories. Be smart, get good sleep, drink lots of water. I'm just going to cover Lydia's question just before we round up and then we're good to go. But Lydia's question was how to get like 140 grams of protein and whilst sort of low calories as food is boring. Like I said from the start, Lydia, I've not said you need to eat anything. I've not said you have to have chicken or you have to have yogurt or you have to sort of eat a certain food. So the most important thing is thinking where you getting your protein from, and lean meats, your tuna, your fish, chicken, egg whites, 0% fat Greek yogurt is obviously where you're going to get your protein in. If I was on 1,200 calories and I'm trying to break down sort of 140 grams of protein, then what I'd be doing is I'd be something like the lines of like eat lean, egg white omelette with eat lean cheese and maybe some turkey bacon or heck chicken sausages. My lunch would be along the lines of a chicken or tuna salad. Abs bulking up. Remember, if you're having 100 grams of chicken, you can take up to 140 or 150 grams of chicken. There's no right amount to have. I just have 150 because I buy a 600-gram pack of chicken. I have 166 grams of mince when I'm meal prepping because it comes in a 500-gram packet and I split that into 3. For dinner, yeah, it'll be prawns, chicken, 5% fat beef mince, turkey mince from stir fries. Snacks would be chocolate puddings, protein shakes, fruit, Greek yogurt, and I would potentially drop things like grenade bars and that because they're quite high in fat and carbs compared to your protein consumption. You can easily get 145 grams of protein. Remember, milk, like a coffee, if you use skinny milk, does have quite a lot of protein in it compared to other calories as well, and that does count. So yeah, there's lots and lots of options in there. But if you're struggling and break it down. So for example, using 1,200 calories there, if you're having 3 meals a day, there's 400 calories in each meal, 4, 8, 12, yeah. And so I'd be looking at like you getting near 50 grams of protein in each meal. If you're having 4 meals and you're just like 300, 6, 9, 12, you'd be looking at, should have done my math on this, 35 grams of protein per meal. And if you're looking at your breakfast and there's 8 grams of protein in it, you probably need to change up your breakfast if you're trying to get high protein. 5-1 caramel protein bars from the carb are great, very low in carbs and fat, and 10 grams of protein and full of fiber. So yeah, good. So yeah, you're thinking sort of like for the next 3 weeks, protein and veg, to be honest, and then fitting in your carbs before you're training. But again, that's not gospel. You don't have to do that. That's just advice. If you would rather just track your protein and your calories and have your carbs and fats off, again, okay, especially for the next 3 weeks. So, like I said, give this your best go for the next 3 weeks. If you haven't booked in your success call, and I would book it in because it's free and you get to ask me all about your progress and what's going on and what's next. So get that booked in. And any questions, get them in the group, or any ideas that's going to make things easier for each other, get them in the group and keep the group active because it's going to help each other and you're all going to need it more than you think. So yeah, have a wonderful evening, guys. Any questions, let me know. and I will see you all next week. But really happy with how everything's going on and how everyone's getting on. The results are coming through thick and fast. So good to see. Have a wonderful evening. See you all later.